Hello, good evening, and welcome along to your Rangers Rabble Extra. I'm sure it's normally over on our Patreon site, but as Rangers announced a new signing, I thought it's only right that it goes out onto YouTube. So hello, welcome everybody. I hope everybody watching as well. Please like and subscribe. Like I say, we're 50 away from 8,000 subscribers, so that would be greatly appreciated if you could do that. And tonight I am joined by my daily Rabble co-hosts Scott, Kerr and Ian, and also James. James, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yourself?
I'm not bad, mate. I'm not bad. Kerr, my friend, how are you?
No bad, Martin. Spoke to you a while ago. Didn't expect to see you so soon, but
no, you're a my missus, by the way. I'm saying, so thank you, Rangers, and of course, no, do you know what, Ian? How are you? I was going to try and be smart, but it was going to backfire. So how are you?
Yeah, don't try that. You're not. You can't. No. Anyway, I was going to do exactly the same thing, and I could feel it backfire, and so I was like, "No, stop." No, I'm good. I'm good. Kerr's really happy you're here. That means he doesn't have to host. So
yeah. I'll just make clear we are live again tomorrow night on YouTube at 7:30, where we will preview Kilmarnock and discuss everything and anything Rangers. But I thought we would just pop on YouTube tonight, talk about Cifuentes, talk about the transfers, and talk about how we're all feeling. About Rangers, not about ourselves. Yeah. And by the way, Ian, anytime anybody tries to do anything smart or intelligent on the Rabble, they end up all over Twitter. So it's really not something that we should try and do.
End up a meme.
End up a meme. Yes, that is the goal. That was the goal when I started the Rabble, was for at least everybody to have one turn of being a meme. Yeah. So I think I've had it, Wolf's had it, Kerr's had it, Mark's had it. So, we're getting there. We're absolutely getting there. Right, okay, so Rangers today can confirm the signing of Jose Cifuentes on a 4-year deal from LAFC. James, your reaction?
Thank God it's over and done with now, mate. It's been longer running than Coronation Street for me.
It's the most depressing reaction ever, man.
I'm very, very happy to have him in the door. Very, very happy to have him in the door.
Yeah, lighten the mood.
Carrie's not laughing at him. He took about 45 seconds to answer. I don't know what he was doing. I'm looking forward to seeing him in action, Martin. I don't know a lot about him. I know a couple of the boys are talking about him in the chat and stuff, but I've not really seen him. Apart from your YouTube clips, I've not seen the guy play live, so I've not watched a game he played in. So I'm looking to see what he brings to the side. By all accounts, he's an exciting player, box to box. So it's good for the club. It's good for Scottish football, bringing somebody this talent in. And for 1.2 million, I think it's a steal, to be honest with you. Considering he's getting a lot of rave reviews about him. So I'm looking forward to seeing him on the side. I know we'll talk about coming out tomorrow night, but I don't know if he'll start. I don't know if he'll be involved straight away. He has been playing recently, but listen, he has to come into Scotland, settle down. Don't know if his family's with him yet, so we could see the best of him in another 3 to 4 weeks.
I know, and we also have to remember that we're still waiting on international clearance for him, so it all depends on when that comes through. I don't know. Gaza Buck for 12 mil. I made a joke that he was worth 12 million, and I think it triggered some people in the comments after the video. Because there was a few people a wee bit angry that I said he was worth 12 million. I've not got a clue what he's worth. But,
no, I'll clear that up for you, Martin. I know exactly where Gaza Buck's coming from. I know exactly where he's coming from. If you look in the chat, I posted a picture earlier on. Sky have on their banner, on their breaking news banner, that Rangers have signed Jose Cifuentes, or for James, it will be Shug Fuentes, for £12 million from LAFC. So Sky are joining the fun and winding them up by saying we signed for £12 million.
So Sky have been watching the Rabble and took when I said 12 million as a joke, they've run with it. I mean, you can't get any bigger praise than that, can you? So that's 9 signings, right? On Cifuentes himself, James, I'll read out what the manager said and what Jose said in a wee second. But for you then, is that just that wee extra bit of magic that we needed for this midfield?
I think it is, mate. I think he's that midfielder that we've been crying out now for best part of maybe 2 or 3 years now. You know, that guy that's going to be the box-to-box midfielder that's going to run the middle of the park for us. And looking at some of his clips, he loves a tackle, by the way. He looks as if he's not scared to get stuck in about it. Very, very fast over whatever it is, 10, 15 yards. And I'm very, very excited to see this guy in action now. It's good to see that we've got, I think that's the final piece of the jigsaw, mate, especially for the middle of the park.
Aye, please don't say that, because people think you're talking about the defence, and then we'll have to go into an hour's conversation about the defence. James, you've got to be very, very careful with your words, my friend. You'll just get absolutely caught out. Right, I'll tell you what I'll do then. I shall read out the wee statement that Rangers put out. So Rangers Football Club are delighted to announce the signing of Jose Cifuentes, I really enjoy saying that name, from Los Angeles FC on a 4-year deal subject to international clearance. The midfielder has joined the club ahead of a new campaign, becoming Michael Beale's 9th signing of the transfer window. Joining LA in 2020, Cifuentes played a part of their double-winning squad who lifted the MLS Cup and the Supporters' Shield in 2022. Starting his career in Ecuador, the 24-year-old played for Universidad and America de Quito before making the move to the MLS. My Spanish is spot on. With 16 caps for his country, Cifuentes was part of the Ecuador squad at the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Speaking after joining Rangers, he said, "I'm very excited to be here. I think this club is amazing. When I spoke to Michael Beale, he told me about the project, what he wants here for the club, and he told me what he wants from me here. So that's why I joined. I love his project and vision, and his vision for football." I'll come on to Michael Beale in a wee second, Ian, but that is not the first player we've heard talk about this project. So Michael Beale is certainly selling the club to players.
Certainly is. I mean, he's had said it all the way through that he wants to talk to these players face to face and get a feel for them. And it works equally the other way around. So while he's talking to them, getting their feel for them, they're getting a feel for Michael Beale. So he obviously knows how to talk the club up, knows how to talk what he wants to do up, and he's bringing people in, and they're buying into whatever it is that he's looking to do in the future going forward. I'd also like to say that was an excellent Jose Cifuentes impression there as you were reading out his part of the statement. That was superb.
Just my Spanish is. By the way, did he speak Spanish in Ecuador?
I believe so.
I hope so. Otherwise, that is us back over Twitter, and I can't have a go at anybody apart from myself. Absolutely can't. Michael Beale commented, "Jose is a player we have followed for a long time. I was originally aware of him when he broke through in Ecuador, and I have followed him on his journey with LAFC in the MLS. He's a midfielder who can play in a variety of roles, both as a box-to-box player and in a more defensive role. He has excelled in the MLS and for his national team. When I returned to Rangers, he was a name that was immediately discussed, and one that we knew we would have a lot of competition to overcome if we were to sign him. When meeting to discuss the move, it was clear that we are aligned in our thinking and on his further development. I am delighted we have Jose here at Rangers, and I must thank everyone involved in the process of making this transfer a reality." Kerr, it seems as though he was probably one of the names at the very top of Michael Beale's list.
Going by that, it seems that what he was, Martin. Listen, they've put a lot of probably scouting into him, they've put a lot of thought into him, the manager's met him personally, so he's obviously one he's wanted for a long time. He's been watched for IO. And other clubs have bought for MLS, other clubs have bought Ecuadorians, and I've seen Brighton bringing a few in. Listen, if he comes over to Rangers and has a good 12, 18 months when you sell him for a profit, we're winning a watch, in my opinion. And I don't expect him to be here 4 years. It might be, but if he's a success, then he won't be. But that's what we have to do. We're a business as well as a football club, and you want him to be a success. You want all our players to be a success. We've signed 9 players, Martin, which is quite a lot of players in the one window. I never thought for a minute we'd be signing 9 players, but I don't think this guy's going to be the last player we sign, but it's good to get him through the door. It might mean less minutes for John Lundstrom, and it's no disrespect to John Lundstrom, but that's just the way my thinking is.
Scott's asking, is he available for Saturday? Subject to international clearance. I don't know how long international clearance takes. I don't know if that'll come through tonight, tomorrow, next Tuesday, a week and Thursday. I don't know. But as soon as he's cleared, then he'll be able to play. If he was cleared before Saturday, James, he's played this season. He's up to match fitness. The only, I suppose, sticking point would be that you'll only have 1 day's training, if that, if he's even in the country, if he's not flew back home to sort out his stuff. So I very, very much doubt he'll be in the squad for Saturday.
I can't see it myself. However, it would be nice to have him maybe on the bench and maybe get a 20-minute look at the boy to see what he's all about. But I think it might just be too soon to get him in the squad, and it'll be a big ask from him as well, mate, if he's only had the one training session with the rest of the boys and try to get up to speed on what's happening and stuff like that. But I think he'll be ready to go next week, mate.
Hopefully, absolutely. Ian, I was too busy reading the comments here, and I completely forgot what I was going to come to you with. But I think I might have just remembered, and I'm not just talking to stall while I try and remember what the point was that I was going to make.
Not at all. Never.
Never. We pre-plan these things to death, so that would never happen. The one thing Michael Beale touched on in that statement there was that he can play both as a box-to-box, but also as a more defensive midfielder. So, I mean, if you look at Lammers, if you look at even Dessers, if you look at Cantwell, Raskin, we have a midfield now that can completely interchange and play different positions.
Yeah, and it's what we've been crying out for seasons. To go back to Kerr's favourite in John Lundstrom, he was billed as this box-to-box midfielder, maybe build the box midfielder. Martin's trying to get the viewership down again. He was never a box-to-box midfielder, so we've now got players who can do that role. It's even better for us. The fact that he can play that box-to-box or as a defensive midfielder is massive, because that takes a lot of strain off of Jacko as well. So maybe Jacko signing that extra year now, we don't have to play him as much because we've got Jose in the door to sit in that defensive role. But he could interchange out with Raskin. Raskin can sit, Jose can go forward. And a bit of the strike force that you've just mentioned, that just terrifies me. But hopefully it terrifies just as many SPFL defenders as it does me at this precise moment in time, because I wouldn't want to face any of them.
No, absolutely not. Do you know what I like about this signing, though, Keir? Although it may be limited, but he has still won stuff. He has been at a team that's actually won trophies. We've brought in, the likes of Campbell's been fantastic. Raskin, I don't actually know about. But we've brought in a lot of players who don't actually have any previous for winning. Whereas Jose has won a league, he's won a cup. So he has that experience of getting over the line.
Yeah, he has, but he brought in a lot of players that's coming new into the club, into the league. And they'll be hungry for success. It's not like the players we've had the last couple of seasons who, when it came to the crunch, they were used to not going further. They're used to losing a final or semi-final, used to going to Celtic Park and getting beat. It was just their normal. Now we've kind of changed that dynamic. We brought in guys who've not experienced that yet, and hopefully they don't. But guys who are not going to go there and be thinking, we've been one here for ages, are going to a final thinking, we get beat here the last time. So it's good to bring in fresh guys, fresh ideas, and just a new dynamic to the team. Listen, he's very forward thinking with the players he brought in, Michael Beale. So it's looking, once everybody's settled and he's got his team he wants out playing, we're going to be an attacking side, which is good to see, because sometimes last season we're playing two holding midfielders at home, and do you know what I mean, against teams we shouldn't be playing against holding midfielders. So it's good to see he wants us to attack. Do you know what I mean? If we end up winning games 4-3, 4-2, that'll be great to watch. I'll not be good for your ticker, but it'll be great to watch.
I don't think I could handle that, if I'm being brutally honest with you. Not just that James does he have experience of winning, but he's also got a lot of playing experience. Plus, he's played at a World Cup. I think it was maybe 2 substitute appearances, but he's still got that experience that possibly a Cantwell, dare I say, a Matondo doesn't have.
No, absolutely, mate, and it's good as well, because he'll come in there as well, mate. He'll have no fear as well, knowing that he can come into the middle of a park, mate, and come in there and start bossing the middle of that park for me, which is a big thing. But as you said, mate, he's got the experience of playing at a World Cup, which will do everybody at Ibrox and World of good as well, especially players like your Ryan Jackson, stuff like that, will be able to learn that for his kid. Jack will be able to kind of show him the ropes and all in the middle of the park, but it's good, mate. He looks as if he's a confident young boy and all that that's saying, well, I'm coming here to fight for my first team place, and once I've got it, nobody's getting it off me. So it's all good, mate.
I know, yeah. I mean, obviously, players like Ryan Jacky are a battle scarred. They've been about the game for a long time. But see, when you bring in the amount of players that we brought in such a short space of time, it's good to have players that do have a decent amount of experience. It helps the team gel a wee bit quicker, if you ask me. It's not like, because if you look at the players that Bill's brought in, they're all really young. Well, I say really, they're young in terms of football. And Cifuentes, again, is only 24, but again, I hark back to that experience, and not just experience playing, experience winning. I know I've mentioned it 3 times now, but I just think it's massive.
Yeah, I mean, along with Jacko, you've got Tav, who's been there, seen it, done it. You've got Galton, been there, seen it, done it, and a few others alongside as well. So that experience, and that's 4, and
winning, that's 4.
Winning, and with the new guys coming in, you mix that together. If it gels, and it can gel quickly, you're onto a winning formula, because that sets the new guys in. This is the standard you've got to get to. This is how we play. I mean, I'm not getting overly carried away that every single player that we've bought is going to hit the ground running, but I think we're doing a quadruple.
No, they will. Absolutely, they'll hit the ground running. They won't concede a goal for 6 months, and by the time we get to the end of the season, we'll have won every single game.
You're being picked up in the comments, though, because obviously Danilo's won the. That's Danilo with an L.
Like I said, I don't know everybody that's came in their past history, right? Okay, but I was generalising the point that he's won something. You know what I mean? Right, okay, Kerr. So the euphoria of another signing, like we say, that's 9 now in the door. We have touched on this before, but we'll touch on it again. Let's give the board some credit. They have went out and not just backed the manager by bringing in a load of free transfers. They've backed the manager with funds.
They have, yeah. In Michael Beale's everything, everybody's kind of waiting for. He's got them, as you know of, and bringing in 9 guys in one window is a lot for any club, but it's a lot for us, because when the last time we've done it, like Africa, it's such a big turnover in the one season, but it's what's been needed probably the last 3-4 years. We've been needing a refresh, and it's good to see. I know you were saying cheekily there that they're going to hit the ground running, but I feel it might take us time to hit the ground running. Some will, some won't, just depending on how they are off the park. Some will hit the ground running, some will take time to settle, depending on their families here, where they've came from, different culture, all different things, Martin. But I feel he's got the players he wants. It's just up to Michael now to mould them into a side that can win stuff, and that's going to be difficult from his angle, because he's signed that many players, and he said he wanted 2 for every position. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. Does he play 2 up top? Does he play 3 at the back? Does he go 4-2-3-1? All different stuff. Although everybody went out just now looking, putting names in paper, thinking the best way to go. But as he knows, and as us 3 know, well, 4 is including you, Martin, one draw, especially on Saturday, you've got the people criticising him already. So he's under a lot of pressure, because basically he's got everything he's asked for this summer.
I mean, he's under pressure, James, as he should be. He's the Rangers manager. Of course, he should be under pressure to make sure that the team wins every week. But if you're the Rangers manager, right, and you look back at the previous 3 or 4 managers, which obviously includes Michael Beale's time under Gerrard as his assistant or coach or whatever his role was then, he's probably been backed more than all of them, I would say, financially. So as a manager, you've got to be looking at that and go, no, this club trusts in me, this club believe in what I'm doing. And that must give you confidence to go and do your job.
It will do, and for me, it says a lot about Michael Beale as well. He's obviously come in there and says, I need backing to change this team about, because we all knew that the team wasn't good enough. There was players there that were there maybe 2 or 3 seasons too long. And obviously Michael Beale's went in and says to the board, this is what I'm needing. This is what I need to turn this team about. Give me the backing, and I'll certainly get a successful team back in the park. And as I've said many times before, I don't know why I'm so confident we're getting into this season, but I think we're going to start whiting the flare every teams. And that's what we need to start doing. We need to start putting 4 and 5 past your Livingstons and your St Mirrens. Get them deed and buried. halfway through the second half, then you can start bleeding some of this young team into the squad as well. For me, start playing your guys like your Bailey Rice and stuff like that. Give them 20 minutes at Ibrox to see what the boys can do. Because if they can't do it with no pressure, they'll never do it at Rangers for me.
Does that mean, Ian, that we won't need to send the carrier pigeons just to make sure that we get our penalties this season? The fact that we've got a strong squad?
Well, I still think for a laugh we should send them so we can get them. Put people in the VAR room, so it's just every time something happens, it doesn't matter where it is on the pitch, penalty to Rangers. We all want to hear it. Particularly there's other people across the city that definitely want to hear it as much as possible. So, but no, having that strong squad, I don't want to be.
But we don't know, Ian, do we, how strong the squad is? Because I'm getting carried away, right? I'm happy we've made a 9th signing. It's always good when your club brings in loads of fresh faces, especially after a disappointing season, etc. But we do have to at the same time be realistic, like Kerr says. We don't know how many of these signings are going to come straight into the team and gel. They might all 9, and if we add any more, possibly in defence, they might all 14 of them might come in and just gel. And we can run away with it. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 might struggle.
There's going to bound to be some that take a little bit longer. I mean, Sima is probably going to take a little bit longer to settle than most. People have already written him off.
He'll score 2 against Kilmarnock.
Guaranteed. But on paper, we've got a strong squad then to change the rhetoric of it. Ooh, big word for me this time of night. But I am with James, though. I think that this is like a turning point for us. We've had decent squads before, and with a decent squad, managed to win the league. There's just something different about this, and it does feel that it has that if it all goes well and they all click together, that we are going to be back to sort of that 1990s era where we used to smash sides and put them to bed, and then we're able to do what we wish in the second half and bring on whoever we felt we needed to bring on to give them game time, as opposed to we need to bring people in to change the game. So I get it, that not get overexcited, but there is a little bit of thing that is with James that is there's just a different feel about how this is going, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited. I know my voice says different, but I'm very, very excited, and I'm very much looking forward to the weekend.
There's a different feeling, Kerr, every week following Rangers. We could win 3-0 and play terrible when people are unhappy, or we could, edge out a close game and people are buzzing, or we could win 5-0 and people go, we're meant to win 5-0, or we could beat them across the city and everybody's buzzing. So it's weird following Rangers.
As we've all got different opinions, Martin. Some have good positive opinions, some are negative. Listen, some people just look for negativity no matter what the club does, and even their own fans do it. Some will constantly just back the team, even though we can be shit at times. I think we just have to take each game as it comes at the moment, just to see the guys settling in. Listen, I'm excited as anybody. All these guys come in and you're thinking so much attacking talent in display. Are we going to score a lot of goals? Hopefully. Are we going to win a lot of games? Hopefully. But I think we just have to take our time, take a step back and think, it will take a few weeks. Hopefully not too long, but it will take a few weeks to get them settled in. But listen, all the guys in the dressing room are buzzing. They've got new teammates. They see each other in the park and thinking, he's a good player, he's another good player. We just hope they click. And it's just training together for a while. Socialising off the park as well, because that's just as important as in playing together. And listen, I think we've all come good. I just hope it's sooner rather than later. But I'll take each game as it comes. And as long as at the end of the season we're holding the league up, I don't really care about anything else. But I think there's a lot of talent in that squad, one we've had for a long, long time. So fingers crossed Michael Beale gets it right.
And Jim Sloan in the comments channel member, CGM, if you're happy, we're all happy. Is CGM happy? Can somebody please confirm if CGM's happy? Because I want to know, because then I want to know what's wrong if CGM's happy.
End the pod if he's happy.
And listen, that's a rabble done if he's happy. But yeah. Look, I did say this was only going to be about the signings. We were only going to be on for half an hour. Just quickly, there's one or two other things that we will discuss. Again, I don't want to take too much away from talking points for tomorrow night. But has any of you three, that was dreadful English, by the way, have any of you seen the comments made by Graeme Souness to Ewan Cameron?
Briefly.
Only what's been put in the chat.
He's
I'm
not
not.
happy.
The only honest stuff in the chat I've seen, and I've seen some of you and Cameron tweeted, but not all of it. Have you, Martin?
No.
Just the CGM has confirmed that he is happy.
Oh, well, thank you, everybody.
I was seeing it. He wants to come back, but the role he was offered wasn't what he was looking for. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
But you and Cameron saying he's still Rangers soon through, and maybe one day he will come back, but he wanted a bigger role. But bigger role as in what?
Is it weird for you, Kerr, that he's coming out and discussing this now? You know, a couple of days before first game of the season.
I don't know. I think people like to discuss things now. Doesn't matter what's going on because that's the way the world is. To me, if it was me, I'd just left it between me and himself and the club, and maybe went back to it maybe 6 months later to see if there's any change. But is he hurt? Is that how he's coming out to discuss it? Does he just want to tell the fans what's happened? Does he want to put pressure on Big Rob to see if he can offer it something else? I don't know. You'd have to ask Graeme Souness that, but that's what we live in, Martin. People like to throw their dirty washing on social media. I
just find it strange that these comments are coming out now. Now, I must say I haven't listened to the clip because I haven't had a chance yet. I could maybe ask you a question, Ian, and you could give me a 2.5 minute answer, and I could disappear. But I haven't listened to it yet. But again, I just find the timing of it all a bit strange. And if the club had spoken to him about a job and it wasn't what he was looking for, does that suggest then that he was maybe looking at the director of football role? And that's me just putting 2 and 2 together and maybe getting 7.
The only bit I know about it is that he was going to give him that ambassador role, and that's not what he wanted. He wanted a bigger role within the club. Now, whether that was as a director of football or something else, I don't know. Because again, like you, I've not heard the clip. I literally all I knew was when it popped up on the chat. But with kids and dinner time and bath time and all that sort of stuff, never got a chance to listen to that. But I think he doesn't need to be given an ambassador role because he will be an ambassador for this club for the rest of his life, no matter what. So he's kind of an unofficial ambassador anyway. It depends what he wants from the club. Would he be the right man to be a director of football at Ibrox? Not for me, but who knows? I don't know is the short answer. I was just trying to give you something a little bit longer.
No, it's all right. I forgot to go and listen to the clip. I'll be honest with you. I'll listen to it after we are finished. All right, James. So we have to discuss it then. Obviously, with Cifuentes coming in, that now gives us a very bulky midfield. We've discussed it a million times about Glenn Kamara. So, there's no point in jumping back down that route. But Ryan Jack, John Lundstrom, Yanis Hadji, would you expect all three of them to still be at Ibrox at the end of the transfer window?
I can obviously see Hadji still being there, Ryan Jack and Lundstrom still being there, Martin.
You could have just said I expect all three to still be there. I just
trying to talk a wee bit longer there, mate. You know what I mean? I wanted people to start talking a wee bit longer, so I thought I would do it. No, I think all three will still be there, mate, come the end of the transfer window. As much as I would like to see his move Big Lundstrom on, I'm obviously in the same agreement as Kerr that I don't think the guy's done himself much favours over the past couple of months and stuff like that. He's obviously had a fall for grace, let's say, and I think it's obviously time that we maybe move him on. He's probably on a big wage as well for me. Hadji is probably one of the most sellable assets we've got, probably. But I can't see anybody coming in for him. Whether Hadji would want to go is another thing for me. And Ryan Jack will still be there, mate, because I think Ryan Jack has got a very, very important role this year, whether he's playing or whether he's coming off the bench for me, because I think he's one of the guys he knows what the team's all about. He gets the club, he gets the fans, and he's one of the guys that I would still have about, mate. I think he's a fantastic player. I know a lot of folk don't like Ryan Jack for whatever reason, but for me, you see what Ryan Jack brings to a team when he's not in the team.
I know. I'm looking, Ian, at the midfield options that we have, and it's an incredible amount of midfielders.
Yeah, we are weighed down with midfielders. I believe one club would definitely come in for Hadji. Certain Turkish side, yeah, small club from Turkey would come in for Hadji just because of his name. They would pay top dollar for his name. I shouldn't have done that. For his name alone, and so he could be probably the one. I just don't see who's going to come in and want to take Lundstrom. To be perfectly honest, he's not shown anything to make people want to buy him.
He's performed in the Premier League, but hasn't he? So I think that always guarantees you a move back, regardless, does it not?
Yeah, but he's going to be that lower end again, and I don't think his old club are going to come back in for him. I'd move Lundstrom on. I don't see where he fits anymore with what we've got. Hadji's the sellable asset out of the ones that you named. I don't see Jacko leaving because he's literally only just signed a 1-year extension, so he's here for the season, and then what happens. But then you've got your Matondos, your Kamara, your Wrights, and all the rest of it to get shot of as well as Sakala. So hopefully people start coming in for these guys.
Say that again, James?
No for £3 million anyway. I'm no Sakala's biggest fan, but I think £3 million for Sakala's an absolute steal because you look at the guy's stats, he's got better stats than Jota. And that's, for me,
but he's not a better footballer than Jota. So Jota is a better player, and I know I'll get hounded for saying that, but it's true. So I wouldn't go anywhere with that comparison.
Jota's younger,
and he's younger as well. No, look, it's a difficult one though, James, because you do have to put a realistic price tag on it, and obviously Rangers, I'm not going to say are desperate to sell, but they know that they're not going to be able to offer certain players that many minutes. So why have somebody sitting on a wage that doesn't need to be sitting there? So they'll be looking to get the best offer they can get, James. But Rangers have also got to be realistic in what they can ask.
I get that, mate. I get that, but it's just for me. I think £3 million for what the guy would obviously bring to a team. As I said, I'm no his biggest fan. I think the guy would still do a job coming off the bench for you, especially in your games against your St Mirrens, your Livingstones and stuff like that. And he would probably still make an impact coming off the bench against the bigger ones. Do you know what I mean? And the bigger games and stuff. But for me, I think as you obviously rightly say, we need to be realistic about what we can obviously aim for. I still think £3 million for a player and his stats and what he also brought to the team last year is a bit lowball for me.
Listen, I completely agree, Keir, about the fee that's been talked about. I think it's $4 million. I think that's been talked about for Sakala. But James is right. When you look at his stats, when you look at his contribution, especially last season, the numbers that guy brought to our football club. I mean, I think somebody put it in the comments. For somebody of his ability, you'd be looking for somewhere in the region of 7 to 10 million just for the stats alone. Never mind the raw pace, the hunger, the desire that the guy clearly shows. But again, you can only sell somebody for what somebody's willing to pay for them.
Yeah, I agree with you, Martin. If somebody's willing to pay for it and nobody else is willing to pay any higher, you have to look at it. Maybe Sakala's been told you're not going to play many minutes, obviously, because the saying's been brought in. And he's thought maybe it's better for me to go and play elsewhere. Plus, it's Saudi's going to, so he's going to get a good wage rise, isn't he? So I think Rangers are going to have to bring in money because the outlay they've done with the 9 pros coming through. They're not just transfer fees, but sign-on fees and stuff. So to me, I would bite the hand off of him. That's just me, but I know people want others. But we can all look for 7 million, 10 million. But if we do, then I feel passion still about Rangers and he'll just run his contract down. We're never going to get that for him. But we have to get players out the door just to get the money back in, wages off the bill, and money back in for the way we've done. And hopefully we can, if we get through this round of the Champions League, and we get an extra £5 million and go and get a centre back.
Right, very quickly, because this conversation depresses me, Ian. The defence has looked the most shaky in pre-season. It has looked the most bare in terms of numbers, with illness, injuries, etc. Is it imperative that we shore up that defence quickly? We bring in additions.
additions are definitely needed. Whether we're going to see them come in before that Champions League qualifiers, another matter. Is it they sitting on their hands waiting to see what happens there? So wait for, I don't know, to see what happens with that qualifier, then that extra money that brings in, the guaranteed parachute payment as well. Should we not win the next game, is that what they're waiting for in regards to bringing in a defender? But if you did sell Kamara for the muted 5.5 and you did sell Sakala for the muted 4 and then get that guaranteed £5 million back, that's the front line that we've just bought near enough paid back. So then you've got the money to go out and look for a decent centre-back, not just a centre-back. Because, I mean, Trusty was mentioned, but again, I don't know much about him. He might have been a really decent player and come up here and completely fell on his face. I thought Davies was going to be, I mean, he's a good player, and don't get me wrong, but I thought he was going to be better than he actually has been. So I think it's just a waiting game for centre-back, unfortunately.
I think Davies gets a bad deal off his supporters. I really do. But before I come to that, Jim Sloan's talking to James. Lads, for fuck's sake, cheer up. Easy, the famous Glasgow Rangers. And thanks very much for the super chat, Jim. He's been a big supporter of the channel for a couple of years now. So thank you very much, Jim. And James, cheer up. Stop sitting there like that. Come on.
He's on himself. Come on.
Come on. I know you've no family or anything. You were telling me before we started how delighted you were to be away for the missus and all that, and how you were living life up.
This, mate, or I'm dead.
Hope you're enjoying that hotel room, because that's where you're staying.
See if this phone starts ringing, by the way.
And another super chat in from Rangers Loyalist. Title 56 incoming this season to Ibrox, which I'm sure we can all get behind, Kerr. Ben Davies, Kerr, you've been a big proponent of... Proponent? Where did I find that for?
You haven't listened to Ian too much.
Ian sent me his word a day calendar. You've been a big fan of Ben Davies for a while, Kerr. Does he get a raw deal?
He does. I can see why at times, because he does make mistakes.
Well, you can see why he doesn't get a raw deal then.
No, but I can see why, because he can make a mistake and he's a nervous player. Once he makes one mistake, it's like he's adamant he doesn't want to make another one, but then he does, because he starts to panic, and like he does. He just needs to relax more, I feel, but I still feel he's better than a 3. But I think we're going to play a 3. But we don't see any. The only time we actually try a 3 is pull Lundstrom back between the two centre backs. But I feel for playing a 3, we see the best of him. I think it's just because the way he plays, Martin. He's not an aggressive centre back. He's not going to go through tackles. He's not going to put himself in front of shots. He's not going to put his head in where it hurts. He's more of a footballing centre back. I know folks like me off when I said that before. But that's basically what he is. He can get away with England because it's a different type of game down there. So maybe he's just not suited to our league. But I feel what I've read in the paper that he told him to get the manager's boss have told him to get a new club. I feel that could be the wrong move, because if he doesn't get a move and then we don't bring in anybody else and we get injuries with Suter or Golson or because you've been injured and Balogun's not, can't even rely on him, and you're finding somebody in it you've told to find a new club, it's a gamble. So I feel he's getting a raw deal, but I do feel probably best in the long run it would be a new challenge for Ben, maybe suit him better, and we can bring in somebody else that maybe suited to him like he wants to play. And you're in mute, Martin.
Oh, that's a mistake. That's a fiver in the kitty. A lot of people, James, are shouting for Goldson to hurry up and come back. A few people maybe eating a wee bit of humble pie when it comes to Connor and just how important he is for our football team. So I'll take this final point to all three of you, but I'll start with you, James. I have said for the last 2 or 3 days, if you listen to our daily rabbles over on Patreon, that Connor Goldson is an absolute 0% chance of playing on Saturday. He's had no pre-season. He's had very little training. He's basically done nothing, obviously, since he's been off with that injury. He has absolutely 0 chance of being in the squad, let alone the bench, let alone the first team on Saturday. Think he'll play?
No. I would like to see him in there with Big Shooter, because I think that's going to be the defensive 2 going forward next year. For me, Big Shooter's the first name in the team sheet, but The big man's made me eat my words about him, and I could not be happier because he's one of the mainstays of that defence now for me. He loves getting into tackles. He'll put his head in where folk don't want to even put their feet into for me. And as I said, he's made me eat my words about him. I'm going to go and get Suter in the back of my Rangers shirt now. And it'll be Suter and it'll be Balogun, I think, and next to him.
I've got so many designs for t-shirts for the Rabble, right? It's a game of three halves, which is Kerr's famous saying. And I'm going to get your one that you've just mentioned, James. Before somebody else picks it up, he's willing to put his feet in where nobody else is willing to put their feet in. That's one of the great quotes, I think, that I've ever heard. That's a superb quote. I mean, thank God he's willing to put his feet in.
That'll be me on the hangman down the night.
That's you. That is it. You've had it. You've absolutely had it.
They're coming for you, James.
They're coming for you. Thoughts on Goldson, Ian? You're just sitting there in a daydream.
I'm just waiting for the whole laugh at James to stop, as much as it was fun. I've said it a few times on the recent pods as well, that I don't expect him to be there on Saturday, but this is Connor Goldson, and if he can put one foot in front of the other faster than walking, he's going to be at Beale's door going, I'm fit, I'm ready, I want to play. It's just the way he is. So Goldson's just going to have to try and calm him down, because one, like you say, he's not had the pre-season, he's not had much in the way of training sessions, he's not in with it, he's had like a couple, and obviously he was at the open session, but it's also on Kilmarnock's rubbishy 3G pitch. And I think the pitch I play on a Monday night is actually better than that, and it's not maintained all that well. So I wouldn't risk.
I bet you Goldson would be willing to put his feet in on that pitch.
He would be willing to put his feet in where his feet don't, where other people's feet won't go. But I don't expect him to play, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did.
Yeah, I know. Do you know what? I was so adamant that there was absolutely zero chance of him even being in contention for Saturday, and now my mind's working its way back and going, it's Connor Goldson. It's Connor Goldson. The guy that's willing to put his feet in when nobody else is willing to put their feet. He's definitely in with a chance. 100% in with a chance. We're back tomorrow night at 7:30. And by the way, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Like I said, before we started tonight, we were 50 subscribers away from 8,000 on YouTube. And of course, if you want daily Rangers content as well as loads of extra bonus content, then you can join our Patreon, the link for which is in the description. Like I say, we're back tomorrow night at 7:30 right here on the Rangers Rabble YouTube channel, where we'll talk more Cifuentes, we'll talk more transfers, we'll talk Kilmarnock, we'll talk everything, absolutely everything Rangers. This was supposed to be 25 minutes, folks. That was all it was supposed to be. And then James made us all laugh. So there's always that. So a massive thank you to everybody watching. Kerr, James, Ian, thank you for joining me. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And we will speak to you all tomorrow night, 7:30, right here on the Rangers Rabble YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, folks. Good night.